This is the Why It Matters podcast. My name is Dylan Barry. Let's get into it. An interesting thing happens when you put a bunch of people together in a room. It depends on who those people are, right? If a bunch of people are in a room and they're there to argue a point, if they're there to win a lawsuit or to, in some way, shape, or form, have an adversarial position against each other, well, then you walk in that room and everybody acts and behaves in a certain way and thinks in a certain way. However, when everybody's in the room and they're focused on positivity or doing something good together, there's a whole other vibe in the room. One thing I've noticed about human beings is they feed off each other. All you got to do is go to a U2 concert or see Coldplay and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what happens when you walk in a room with random people that don't know each other that are all feeling a different way? Well, something else very interesting happens. People look at each other and they judge each other instantly by the way their face is moving, by the way they look, by what they're wearing. They instantly decide whether they're a threat or they're somebody beneficial or they're somebody that is not a threat. And here's where it gets interesting. The biggest threats in that room are the people that you identify instantly as not being a threat. Here's why I'm telling you this. In your life, you have to always follow your instincts. Even if it looks silver, gold, and beautiful, if you're getting a weird instinct and it's sending you sideways and it's making you go, oh, I don't know why I'm not feeling right here, there is a reason for it. Animals, dogs, everything else, they communicate on so many other levels than us dumb humans. They see little nuances in the way people behave. They see the way their eyes flicker. They see the intent behind their actions. They sense it, right? That's why you can see a dog and they know you're nervous, even if you show no sign of nervousness, and they bite you. Because they have a bite response. Did you know bears have a chase response? You ever heard of this? Certain kinds of bears, right? If you run from a Kodiak bear, which is a grizzly bear, which is a big ass mean bear, they're actually really sweet. But if you piss them off, they get grumpy. If you run from them, they have a chase response like a cop. If you just see a cop and run, they will chase you. They figure you did something wrong. If you're a bear and you run from it, they will chase you. It's a chase response. This is an instinctual response that connects the dots for somebody and says, A plus B equals C, and C is danger. C is, I need to chase that, or C is, something's wrong. So trust your innate instinct. Often we ignore them. We ignore them because we want what that person perceivedly can provide us. You know, whether it's maybe a job or money or that person's rich. I'll tell you a secret that I'm actually quite embarrassed about. Once when I was very young, I think I was probably 22. And you know me, I'm a guy with a lot of big ideas, and guys with big ideas always need investment. They just always do, because somebody's got to pay for these big ideas. You know what I mean? And I was 22 and I had this big idea. I don't even remember what it was, but it was freaking big. And it was going to be $1 million idea because $1 million was a lot of money back then. Now it don't even get you a shoebox in Silver Lake. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so this kid, he's an asshole, right? Wherever he is, he's an asshole. And he probably knows it, and so does everybody else. But at the time, this kid was all dressed up. You know, he had the nice shoes on, and he was a little hot shot Hollywood, probably some lawyer's kid, right? And, you know, I bumped into him, and we started talking. He's, oh, yeah, I got all this money, and I invest in different projects. And I was like, well, I got the perfect project for you. You know, I'm like an opportunist because, you know, I was, just new to Hollywood and trying to make my mark and do my thing. And I pitched this whole thing and, and then the guy dodged me the whole night, was running around and laughing and kind of like, and turns out the guy wasn't shit, right? He was just making it up. He's like, look, man, I can get a lot of attention if I just pretend I have a lot of money, right? Which is absolutely true. You can, and hell, Hollywood's full of these people. I know 7 I could count on my finger right now that pretend like, they're the big dog and they're just bullshitting. Anyway, so I go out to go get my car because in LA, even if you're broke as F, you go to a bar and you got to pay $20 to park your freaking car. Anyway, I go out there to get my hoopty, to jump up in my hoopty that ain't even worth $20, but I paid $20 to park that bitch. Anyway, I'm going to jump in that car, and here's this guy. They bring a busted ass car up to pick him up too. And he looks over at me and laughs and gets in his car and drives off. Little douchebag. But I remember thinking I was deceived, right? This is deceivable in any shape or form. But I believe that on the surface level, this person probably had money because they, went to Sandy Alley and bought some fake Gucci shoes and whatever they did and talked a good talk. The reality is that my instinct when I was talking to this person was, this ain't right. It didn't feel right. He was too young. He just wasn't right. It's words he chose. He didn't seem like he was very educated. I mean, the whole thing just whatever. But I ignored those instincts because I selfishly wanted his investment. I didn't care who he was. All right, and this is also a problem for the youth. You will take investment from a gangster and it will ruin your life. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And don't take investments that you can't pay back because it will hurt you in the long run. It'll hurt your heart and it'll hurt everything else. Now, look, I don't mean that you can't pay back. If you put the old college try in and it just didn't pan out, well, then fine. You know what I mean? But don't take money in your heart is a real long shot. That's just deceiving somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is there's always a wolf in sheep's clothing. Make sure that you can identify a wolf in sheep's clothing by following your instincts, your deep down instincts, not your desire instincts, not best case scenario, this person has money and I get a little. No, the worst case scenario, that this person's full of shit and embarrassing you in front of your friends. Like that little dickhead did at that bar. Made me look foolish. Like a guy with his hand out. You know what I mean? The good news is that idea I ended up doing later and made a few $1,000,000 on and kissed my ass. But whatever. At that time, it was embarrassing. Now, here's the thing to understand about human beings. And unfortunately, this is pretty much true. The epicenter of all human beings is directly in their center. Then they work out from there. The value, the importance, and in most cases, the entire effort is centered around enriching and empowering themselves first. Now that's okay, because that's a survival instinct, and that's normal. However, there are so many that abuse that take and don't give. Those people are as deceitful as people that lie to your face and are wolves in sheep's clothing. I'll give you an example. When people come to you and shower you with love and say, yeah, we're so close, we're good, but they don't show you that in their actions, but they continue to ask you for things. Can be little things. Hey, can you grab the coffee today? Hey, let's take your car. Hey, I've got a problem I need you to listen to. But when you come back and say, hey, I got a problem you need to listen to. Yeah. I'm just super busy. I'll get back to you. Hey, do you mind picking up lunch today? Ah, man, I would, but I left my wallet in my back pocket and I can't reach over to get it. Just pay attention to these things, right? Now, that might just be a stingy person, but in most cases, that's a taker, not a giver. And takers will deplete all of the energy you have in you that should be allocated to those in your life that are givers. Because when a giver is giving to you and you're giving to them, guess what? You're building together. You're putting bricks and you're laying bricks and you're building a building and you're building a staircase and you're climbing it together. When you're the only one putting out bricks, there's only one person climbing that staircase, and it ain't you, babe. It ain't you. So don't be stupid. Don't be stupid and think somehow that's enriching your life. All that's doing is depleting your life. I just saw a very interesting film with Demi Moore. If you saw it, oh my God. It's called The Substance. Anyway, watch that because that pretty much sums it up. It was a great metaphor for what I'm talking about. So those are the people that are takers, not givers. Okay. Who else can we talk about? What about people that overgive and never ask for anything? Those people are absolute saints. And hopefully those are people that have so much abundance they can do that. However, there are so many people, and I know so many, who do that with nothing. They have no abundance. Those people should be cherished and empowered. And you should put those bricks and build those stairways in their direction to meet the stairways that they're constantly building in yours. Without asking. And without them asking. They don't need to ask. They're showing you with their actions that they're a giver, beyond giver. They're a selfless giver. Those are very, very, very rare people. And unfortunately, most of the givers I know, at some point, people abuse that kindness and they get jaded and they start acting like the hurt boyfriend or the hurt girlfriend and going, I'll never love again because that asshole ruined it for me. Right? And I got to admit, the older I get, the more I get a little bit more like that because I've been a giver all of my life. And I've had many, many, many heartbreaks and some recently where people I gave to and gave energy to, I don't mean money yet. I mean giving energy to, giving love to, giving opportunity to because you believed they could do it. Even when they didn't or they failed multiple times, you continued to support them. And then when you ask for something, they're too busy. And typically that happens after you've empowered them to get to a certain level of competency or income where you're no longer as valuable as you were when they didn't have shit. And I have people directly in my life that I entrusted with so many things and all the relationships that I had and all the value I could bring them. And in the end of the day, when I asked them for something, oh, I'm sorry, I'm too busy because of the shit that you built. I'm too busy because of all the stairways you built for me that I now can't help you build one for yourself. And the interesting thing is, if you look at humanity, time and time and time and time again, it will repeat this. If you look at David Beckham, David brought people so much joy and entertainment in his personal life, in his professional life, playing football / soccer for you Americanos. And the day he actually intently kicked somebody in the shin, fouled him, and then that cost a goal that lost the game, all of a sudden, everybody hates David Beckham. David's a giver. David got up every day and gave and gave and gave. He gave to the team. He gave to his fitness. He gave to his family. He wasn't really a taker. He's not a selfish prick. He went out there and he did his stuff and he entertained you all. And the second that something meets your disapproval, you turn your back and you go, nah. And it goes to show you, unfortunately, human beings, when they have a focus on their own little center, they can really, really be selfish. And this has happened in so many times. You know, you hear about the rise and fall in Hollywood. Oh, she's amazing. She's gorgeous. And boom, Karen there. And then all of a sudden, oh no, she's too old. She looks terrible. Her nose job sucks. Oh, she's on drugs. Well, guess what? It's the same person. It's the same person. You can't and you shouldn't love and hate in the same lifespan unless you have a real reason to do so other than being dramatic and having something to talk about. I'll give you something interesting to do as a social experiment. Next time you're out and about and you're at a cafe, listen to the conversations next to you. I've talked about this before, but just do it. If you're waiting in line to get on a ferry or a plane or a bus or whatever it is, waiting for your rent-a-car at Hertz, listen to the conversations friends are having casually. Are they going, yes, everything's wonderful. No, life's perfect. And I really enjoyed paying my bills yesterday. And I loved mowing the lawn. And oh, my kid didn't get into that college, but that's okay. No! They're sitting there going, Susie the bitch, yeah, Tom, he's broke my heart again. He's a nerd. I could do so much better. I could quit that job anytime. It's drama. It's just drama. I know humans have a propensity to drama. I do it too. I'm pretty happy these days. Nothing super dead, disastrously catastrophic has happened, in the last few days. So I'm happy. That's 6 days ago, 7 days. Yeah, a few things happened, but today is good. But still, you could find something to complain about. Beware of that. It's something I don't like in myself, and it's something I'm trying to change because every time I say those negative things, I actually feel bad. Because words are powerful. I mean, they are really powerful. And people say that, and, a lot of people go, oh, that's just silly. That's corny. I don't get it. But the reality is they are. Think of this. I'm going to give you 3 words right now, and I want you to think of what happens to you. Love. Suffering. War. Childbirth. Right? All of those things, when you hear them, it's like, fear, unknowing, loss, whatever it relates to, happiness. Words are powerful. If I say, it's great to meet you. Man, you're a good looking person. And I've heard so many great things about you and you're smart as a whip. I can't wait to talk to you more. How do you feel? If I go, hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm okay. What's going on? How do you feel? Words are powerful. They're intentful. This is why wolves don't have to say words to have full conversations, because they can say these words with their intent and with their body motion and with all of these senses that they have. Humans, we have to say it in words because we're kind of stupid. We're actually really smart, but also very linear. Let's just call it linear. We're not dynamic and nuanced in such a way as the animal kingdom that listens to every sound and the pulse of the earth and the smell of the air and is it going to rain or not. They're very dialed in. We're just kind of like, if it rains, whatever. You're just bowling through life like a bowling ball through pins. So what do you do with all this information? What's positive about this? Why does this matter? It matters because as you go through your daily life, the more that you know, the more that you have knowledge of who is around you. And are they a wolf in sheep's clothing? Are they a giver or a taker? Or are they just purely a saintful giver? Or are they some nuance in between? Then you know truly how much of yourself you should invest in this person, or their project, or their time, or what you need to prepare yourself for as a potential roadblock or complication to your relationship, because inevitably it will rear its ugly head. Now, I just had a situation where we had this event. It was a very powerful event, and we had very powerful people in the room. And I had met another person who has said, I'm a very powerful person, and I do something very similar. And in that conversation, about 10 minutes, that person never listened to the contributions I tried to make to the conversation. They wanted to always one-up me and out-joust me on whatever it was, and didn't ever listen, didn't ever look me in the eye, didn't ever appreciate. And I said, well, look, even if you are that very well-connected, powerful person, you don't have a place in the room that I'm building, which is a room of givers. You are a taker. Immediately what happened? That taker went and stirred up all this drama outside. They did exactly what I thought they were capable of doing. And the lesson in that is my instinct told me that this person, if I let them too close, would probably be awesome and probably make a bunch of connections for me and then absolutely destroy them, complicate my life, and make it dramatic if for some reason they decided to do so, for whatever reason, based in reality or not, at a later date. So who are you going to invest in? That person that literally can build a huge house of cards for you and then kick it down? Or that person that can hand you the deck of cards and go, hey, play them well. Call me when you win a bunch of money. You have to choose who you surround yourself with, and if you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people, you're an idiot. Hate to say the word idiot because it's derogatory, but it's true. It's so true. Nobody will tell you. If you're being stupid, you're being stupid. Be smart. Yeah, you're capable of smartness. I just said smartness. You're capable of it, but if you're not doing it, shame on you. And if you're identifying these patterns, but you're not fixing them because you're too weak, or you don't have enough confidence in yourself, or you think, well, there's nothing else, you're wrong. There's trillions of people on this planet, and you have options. The one staring you in the face is one of millions that can fulfill that option. Now, I'm not talking about relationships. You might find your one and done. I certainly did. I'm talking about in business. I'm talking about in finance, in money, in business partners, in opportunities. Those you can find more of. Just know who you surround yourself with, because it matters. This is Dylan Berry, and this is why it matters. And you know what? I love you for listening. I appreciate you for listening. I hope that I can see you in a town near you. And I will be out and about traveling about this year doing a bunch of speaking engagements. So come find me. My name is Dylan Berry, and I'm on the social media, mostly at Dylan, Dylan, Berry, official 2, the number 2, or just Dylan Berry official, wherever you can find me, and you'll find me somewhere and whatever. Anyway, when you walk out the door today, think about who I know that I shouldn't need to know anymore. What can I cut from my life to make my life better? Whenever you cut something and it goes away and it disappears, guess what? There's an opportunity to fill that real estate anew and refresh it and make it better. You might like the house you're living in now, but guess what? If you blow it down and you can build your dream house on top of it, what are you going to do? Be smart. I love y'all. Talk to you later. Down airtight. I said I got that all right. I got that all right. I got the full belly block right. I hold the block down airtight. I said I got that all right. I said I got that all right. I got the house packed, black po-po coming every night. And that shit ain't right. Right, I pulled the mic and called it a night. I drink the whiskey and I'm gone, cause I just wanna have me some fun. What I'm gonna do? Who the fuck is you? It don't really matter much, cause I don't really give a fuck. with the Dark Dog